Hi everyone, welcome to Boarded Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is the Tier 8 medium tank, the T44, being driven today by Wolftron. I think this is the first replay Wolftron sent me. He might have sent me one more not so long ago, but Wolftron's from EGP clan and he's platooned up with his old mate Gigabyte. Yeah, and Gigabyte's in the T44 100 rental tank, or maybe not a rental tank, maybe it's just still got the R next to it. I'm not really sure. I don't know if he owns that tank or if it's one of the rentals. It was a tank that a lot of players on World of Tanks won as like a rental for a while, a few months ago. And Wolftron pretty quick to get down the road on Lakeville, and he's lit up that OHO and he's put two shots into the OHO. He'd dearly love for somebody else to hit it, maybe that big artillery, the S51, and that OHO not changing his course of where he's driving. He's quite content to take 3 shots, now 4 shots into his soft sides from Wolftron's big Tier 8 Russian gun. That shot doesn't quite land. It hits the building, and the T44, it's been a while since I've played a T44, but the T44 with standard ammunition does on average 250 hit points of damage, 183 pen. 183 pen is generally enough at Tier 8, but if it's not, 253 pen for the APCR rounds, which is the premium rounds. Now Wolftron and Gigabyte, lucky enough to be top tier in this game. There's that Oni again, gets another 227 hit points of damage into his side, and now that Oni is backing up, but Wolftron's just going to put another shot into the AMX 5100, a very dangerous Tier 8 tank. And the Oni again, not really. Every time he gets shot, he backs up, which gives Wolftron yet another shot into his side. Another 248 damage there. He's already done nearly 2,000 hit points of damage, and now he's looking at the Tiger P. Unlucky not to penetrate that shot on the Tiger P, but just searching for a shot on the Tiger P or the Oni. That shot goes just a little bit high. 1 zip is the score. He's done nearly 2,000 hit points of damage. A little bit of spotting, and that shot's not going to miss. Gets another 285 into the Tier 7 German heavy tank, and he actually does penetrate that, or does connect that shot, even though he looks like he's a little bit around the corner. Nothing wrong with the accuracy of the Russian gun here, and this is the danger of letting a tank on Lakeville get down that central road near the lake. If you don't spot him, he's just going to farm damage all day, just by sniping from a distance into where the enemy tanks go. A Hellcat's been spotted on the road, but Wolftron not worried about that Hellcat at all. 2 kills have been taken from the artillery, and the Hellcat's decided to start YOLOing these 2 tanks, and now he's going to go for a swim. So Wolftron not stuffing around with trying to get any damage into the Hellcat, but the Hellcat on the northern side, just up here on the lake, kills the enemy Hellcat before he gets a chance to drown himself, which is good to see. Wolftron already done nearly 3,000 hit points of damage as he spots the artillery, or maybe the T20 spotted the artillery. Why not go for it? Doesn't quite hit the top of the GW Panther, the big T7 German artillery, but that shot connected even though he wasn't lit. Sends the self-propelled gun back to the garage. Now looks like, looking at the mini-map, the guys Gigabyte in the T44 100 with the majority of the forces pushed straight through the city, and now on full health Wolftron decided he wants to maximise his damage, and so he's pushing right up to the enemy base. Looks like he's spotted an AFK SU-100Y, and that'll be his second kill. 12-1 is the score, 3,363 hit points of damage, but there's still a little bit left. The Charioteer hasn't yet been spotted, and there he is camping just around the corner. He rolls onto the cap, and he can pretty much bully this British tank destroyer, and he probably a pretty good chance of bouncing any shots too off the strong Russian turret of the T44. Takes a shot, his ammo rack gets damaged, and that's my old mate Dramrack in the Charioteer from ADA, one of the first clan, or the first clan I was ever in. His tracks get repaired, he's looking for the kill shot on the Charioteer, his platoon mate does it, Shoots and misses the AMX CDC, but gives a bit of ramming damage, and now it's just a big execution, sending the premium French medium tank back to the garage, and a comprehensive win there, 15-1. As we have a very quick look at the post-game battle results, it'll come as no surprise that was an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge in that very fast game. Bruiser, Demolition Expert for destroying at least one enemy by causing its ammunition to explode, which might have been the GW Panther, or it might have been the SU-100. But anyway, looking at the second page of the post-game battle results, 4,500 hit points of damage for 3 kills, 1,299 base experience, 25 shots fired, 20 connected, 18 did damage, 4,500, 3,000 from a distance of more than 300 metres. That's the danger of giving up that central road on Lakeville. And a little bit of spotting too, just under 1,000 spotting damage. 53,000 credits, bottom line profit after tax with a premium account. That's not a premium tank, of course, that's just a standard Tier 8 Soviet medium tank. As we move on to the second game, this double shot of Tier 8 action, Tier 8 medium tank action. This one features me old mate, the Flying Elite, in his Panther 8.8, a tank that's often described as one of the worst premium tanks in the game. But Flying Elite, he wants to ace it. And I think he's going for marks of excellence as well. I'm not really sure. He does have a mission in this game to destroy an enemy vehicle that's 1 tier higher by ramming. But of course, being top tier on Fiery Salient, that's not going to happen in this game. He's platooned up with his old mate Sturm Jagger from PB CAC, and he's also in a Panther 8.8. And they're not stuffing around. They're going straight for the hill on the eastern side of this map to try and put those accurate German guns to work. Looking at the lineups of the two teams, the enemy side is probably a little bit heavier. There's a low and a Tiger 2 as top tier heavies. Flying Elite side has an IS-3 and a low, so from that point of view it's probably pretty even. The enemy tanks do have a few more tier 7 heavy tanks, and of course the KV-85. Who'll probably be feeling a little bit nervous with this lineup. Sturm Jagger getting some nice sniping damage onto the T29, and of course I don't have one of these Panther 8.8s, but like most German guns, it looks like they're pretty accurate. Flying Elite, not content just to sit back and snipe, he's moving onto the hill to try and get some vision for his team towards the central part of the map. The STA-1 and the STRV-74 doing a good job lighting up the middle, but it looks like they've got a pretty big force camping down here in the south western corner of this map. A little bit of map pinging going on just to try and encourage the team to come up to where the Flying Elite is on this eastern hill. And the Flying Elite just kicking back in this bush now, just trying to get some snipey shots into the centre of the map while the other tanks move forward. Spots the Cromwell, doesn't quite have a shot on it. That load took a big hit from artillery, and in the end it gets killed by the Tiger P, which is not too good. You don't want to have a top tier heavy tank taken out so early. Flying Elite gets spotted here and takes a shot from the little birdie tank, the FV304. But now he gets into this nice little position where he can use the hill as a little bit of cover, as well as those bushes for some camo. Another artillery shell goes off nearby. It sounded a bit bigger than the birdie, so it's probably the M40, M43. As the Flying Elite just skips down this hill just to try and make sure he doesn't get sniped out from the middle. There's not many tanks in the middle have been lit. See, tank destroyers doing what tank destroyers often do on this map. Sit right back here. They're actually too far away to get shots on these tanks. So you'd think something. It'd be nice to have some vision on the one line, but it doesn't look like it's going to be forthcoming. The Spic, the Panther and the STA-1 doing a good job keeping the centre lit up, but it looks like a lot of those enemy tanks might be up here on the back of the hill. And of course there's that Tiger P there that Flying Elite was shooting at earlier. Blind shots towards that Tiger P. It looks like that shot went a little bit low. And there's that KV-85. He'll be nervous there on 870 hit points. It's full health, but it's not much when you're a tier 6 heavy tank in a tier 8 battle. 1-2 is the score. Flying Elite's picked up 700 hit points of damage. He's also spotted 811, and that's going to go a long way to increasing his credits and experience and all that kind of stuff at the end of the battle. That kill on the KV-85 evens the score up at 2 apiece, but the Flying Elite have lost the top tier heavy, whereas the 2 enemy tanks that have been killed were tier 6 and tier 7. Western side of the map still looking pretty stagnant. The VK3601H, the Cheeto, and those 2 tank destroyers really sitting back. That Cheeto probably thinks, oh, I'm a tier 6, I need to be at the back, but they could easily spot some things. Flying Elite gets a shot into the AMX CDC, a very handy tank to get rid of before the UDs 03, the new Swedish tank destroyer, picks up the kill. So we know that those tank destroyers can shoot sort of this area, because that's where he was when he was killed. Now hopefully they can focus fire down this LTTB should he present himself. Puts a shot into the dirt aiming at the Cromwell. They can be a pretty difficult target to hit at range, the Cromwells, because they're so quick. But the issue 12244 looks like he's been tracked now. Looks like he's no longer moving. Artie shoots and looks like it just fell a little bit short. And here comes the enemy low, going for a big push straight down the 1 line. And to be fair, that low really should have been spotted a long time before he got to G1. He really should have been spotted back here if this Cheeto was doing his job and playing around this ditch. Now the Flying Elite keeping that low lit here by being close. Him and his platoon mate, Sturmjagger, and they're going to focus fire him down. They're obviously talking on TeamSpeak or Skype or Discord or whatever it is they use. And there's another AMX CDC. Of course, he's platooned with the dead AMX CDC. And artillery got killed by the Tiger 2 there. Not sure where that artillery was for him to be spotted and killed by a tank that's only just been lit now. Flying Elite puts a shot into the back of the issue 12244. Sturmjagger picks up the kill, and now the Flying Elite's trying to keep that Tiger 2 tracked and in place so he can get some assisted damage and pick up the kill. Sturmjagger killed him, picking up his 2nd kill, and Flying Elite picking up a heap of spotting damage for the kill on that Tiger 2. Looks like the enemy have a number of tanks in this location, but only one of them's a tier 8 tank. That Cromwell and the KV-13 will be a little bit outgunned by these 2 Panther 8.8s, and now really is the time for these guys to move up, at least to F1, to try and get some shots into these retreating mediums. Looks like the VK3601 might be moving forward, but that Cheeto and the UDs, they're firmly staying right back there. Even though the score's 7-5, and a couple more shots will confirm the win. Flying Elite takes a big shot from artillery, 414 hit points from the American Artie, but he takes the KV-13 out of the game. Cheeto and the UDs still at the bat. Looks like the UDs might be moving forward now. Flying Elite needs to make sure that he looks after his health. He's only got 134 hit points left, which, apart from the Cromwell, that's a one shot for any other tank left on the enemy side. Goes for the kill shot, but doesn't quite get it. The Spic does its job. Now the UDs is moving forward. That Cheeto, I'll be very interested to see if that Cheeto actually played in this game. Now that M443 just got lit because he fired towards the Flying Elite, but the shell didn't land. 2,534 hit points of damage, 2,930 spotting damage from the Flying Elite, his Panther 8.8, and 3 kills, and his old mate Sturmjagger's picked up 2 kills as well. Just 2 tank destroyers and an artillery left on the enemy side, and finally that Cheeto's moving forward, but it's going to be too little too late for the little Japanese tier 6 medium tank. Just double checking that corner, make sure there's nothing there. There's the SU. The IS-3 kills the birdie tank. Looks like the SU's on the other side of the railway line. And will they be able to get there in time? You'd think that SU might be able to kill the STA1. But the SU's only on 120 hit points, and the Artie picks up the kill, and in the end, a comfortable win, 15-5 for Flying Elite and stewiejp in their Panther 8.8 premium tier 8 German medium tanks. If we look at the post-game battle results, it's an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, which is no surprise. The Flying Elite loves picking up these Ace Tankers. Spotter for all that spotting damage he did. Hand of God, Bruiser, Fire for effect, and Confederate for shooting more enemy tanks than anybody else did. 2,534 hit points of damage, but this is where he got the Ace Tanker. 2,930 spotting damage, and that was enough for an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. 13-21 base experience. stewiejp had a good game too, doing a little bit more damage, but a bit less spotting. And the Cheeto, where'd the Cheeto? How did he go? One shot. Well, if I had 12 shots, one shot landed. That's an absolute ripper for that Cheeto. Even at tier 6 in a tier 8 game, you got to do more than that. But detailed battle report, 143,277 credits as a bottom line profit after tax with a premium account in the premium tank, the Panther 8.8. So there's two tier 8 medium tank Ace Tanker Mastery Badges for you. Wolftron in his T44 tier 8 Russian Medium Tank, and of course the Flying Elite in the Panther 8.8 premium. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care and see you all next time.